Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner here, alongside
with the Sable here,
with another exciting episode of VSW. Tonight, we are sitting down with Bryce Donovan, one half of the Shook crew. Maybe you've seen him around, maybe you haven't. We're going to ask him some questions and get to know him a little better and let our audience know him a little better. And this is going to be an exciting episode. I've been waiting for this one. What about you, to say it, Wolf?
I'm very excited after seeing the Shook crew plenty of times and beyond and watching some of their matches with Creative Pro and other East Coast promotions. I can say we're in for a treat.
Definitely are. One of those tag teams I just always enjoy watching live. Whenever you hear the music and you see him and his partner, Bobby, come out. It's just amazing. It brings a whole atmosphere. They were with, Platinum Max Callister, too, for a while out there.
Until he got called up to AEW.
Yes, for sure. And, and it could be a matter of time before we start to see, the Shook crew on, AEW Dark, AEW Elevation, any of the shows, really. They are that talented. They really are. And as you know, I am a tag team person, so I do love the chemistry when you see these tag teams that come out together. Like I said, this is a perfect tag team. It comes out with the name. Both of these guys come out with matching gear, matching similar gimmicks. They have good chemistry. That's what makes a tag team a tag team. It's not, in the era of makeshift tags and just, throwing, two guys that you may want to see, together. It's not really what tag teaming is about. Tag teaming is about, two men or two women or men and a woman or two wrestlers, let's say, working together to win their match. And, that's what I grew up with when I saw the Rockers, Demolition, Powers of Pain, Heart Foundation, the Bulldogs. We saw this coordination, and that's what I love to see on the indie scene. I love to see it in AEW, WWE, whatever I see. When I see tag team matches of this caliber, it's really what I enjoy. It's my forte of pro wrestling.
Absolutely, and the tag team division is really big in the indies right now with teams of MSP. You also got the Shook crew who we're interviewing. Also got the competition. Plenty of good tag teams.
Oh, wow. New England right now is stacked beyond stacked. It just really is. But yeah, we're just getting ready for the interview, and he will be calling us shortly. Sorry about the small delay.
Absolutely. It's okay. We can talk a little bit about the indie scene.
I'm sorry. I'm just having to, message. I mentioned earlier on my personal page that, soon the VSW will be taking calls, and instead of doing calls, we will also be doing live guests. It'll be a little bit easier and a little bit simpler as far as, coordinating things. It won't always be live. Some might be taped. If we do it in the afternoon, it'll be aired later, but it'll be something that, will be done as, this pandemic is kind of settling down a little bit. Things are opening up a little bit.
We hope to catch every indie promotion at least once till the end of the year in our area. Maybe
oh, yes. We are going for it. We got a bunch of shows coming up, and we are very excited for this. A lot of good wrestling, and I'm just waiting for words out of, such promotions like Limitless, NCW, even Proving Grounds of when we're going to see fans return.
We already have June 3rd for Project Dolphin of Beyond Wrestling.
Beyond has been doing a great job. You have, that show we got this Saturday. New England All-Stars, is it?
Yep.
That's another great show, and that's going to have live fans. And then we have Top Rope later on the 28th. Another great promotion. and we just got plenty of stuff going on.
We got Double or Nothing coming up to watch.
Exactly. We got a tons of recaps. I mean, if you want to talk about what's coming up on wrestling, I don't know if you watched Limits to the Road tonight, but you're going to want to rewatch that if you didn't. Friday night, you're going to have NCW Shoots and Ladders.
With Channing Thomas taking on Vern Vakilov in a ladder match for the NCW.
You're going to want to watch Behind Closed Doors tomorrow night on YouTube, catching all the action. Plus, like I said, we got that show Saturday. There is all sorts of wrestling going on, and this is just the beginning. Just the beginning,
as
folks.
Governor Baker has announced a few days ago.
And here we go.
Here we go.
Hey, what is going on, Bryce?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing today?
Good, how are you, man?
Pretty good.
Doing good. Versace Stoner here.
And Disabled here.
Just gonna, we're just, talking independent wrestling, the scene. Things are moving out pretty fastly now as, the world's starting to get back to a little bit better place.
Definitely.
We've seen you a few times at Beyond, once against Bear County, which was a very interesting matchup. And
County. They're a whole country, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They are now,
country.
aren't they?
Yeah,
County would be like two smaller guys.
That is right.
Absolutely.
That is right. And it's just been killing the scene. I went back. I've watched some of your other stuff from earlier in your career. You had some interesting matches at CZW Dojo was.
Oh yeah, interesting is a good way to put it.
I was a big fan of CZW Dojo was. I just always thought it was something fun. So it was kind of fun going back and seeing those matches from people like that I know now that I didn't know then. But
were you at the Dojo War shows?
I was at a few of them, yeah.
Wow, this whole time.
Yeah, I really was. I was a big fan of. So it's kind of just kind of thrown together, see what your chemistry is like.
Well, we all got together. Me, Max, Bobby, all got together and had Shook Crew.
Yep, I've seen the music videos. Very big fan.
Yeah, it's good. So we became a group, and then it was kind of more like it was less like, oh, we're going to be like a tag team. It was more just we're kind of affiliated and we can all do our own things. But then we kind of gravitated towards me and Bobby tagging together, especially at Cap, where we it's like when we first tagged the Cap, me and Max were actually the tag, and we won. That's when we won the Cap tag titles.
Yep.
And then it kind of transitioned to Freebird rules, the best rule in wrestling. Transitioned to me and Bobby being primarily the tag guys. So probably it's kind of developed that way. It just worked out. I mean, I love tagging with Bobby.
Yeah, you guys definitely have the chemistry. I mean, I'm a big tag team person. I talk about on every podcast, about how when I look at tag teams, I look for tag teams that are and not makeshift tags. There's two guys or two people that work together. They got similar gear, they got a similar ethic, and they have that good chemistry that tag teams had in the 80s and the 90s when I used to started watching wrestling. You don't get that. You do get that somewhat on major television, but not really anymore. It's a lot of makeshift tag teams with just big names, and the independent scene, the tags are still thriving.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think there's not, I would just call it a resurgence, but a lot of people, I think it was like a backlash to the lack of tag teams, started realizing there were spots for tag teams. Like there was a need and a desire for tag teams, so a lot of people started gravitating towards that a little bit. I think that's kind of what you're saying, where there's a lot of indie tag teams now.
There is.
Trying to have like matching gear and be on the same page and be like one cohesive unit.
Yeah, I mean, I see people of course, the Shook Crew, but I see people the Competition, MSP, C-Stars. You got all these, they're real tag teams.
Yeah, which I think is preferable to. You still, on the indies, there'll still be thrown together two singles people tagging.
Oh, yeah, you'll see it.
It's a lot less common. Like, it's more focused on the actual teams, which is cool.
I think a lot of credit for that has to go with the Young Bucks.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were kind of like the indie tag team.
Absolutely, they were. And then New Japan, Ring of Honor, every big indie promotion they were in for a while.
Yeah, PWG. Like, they kind of, like jump-started it to show, like, kind of the new type of tag team wrestling, which was, like, I guess just, I mean, clearly it resonated with everyone, like, look where they are now, like, what they started, like, AEW in general doesn't, like, happen without the Young Bucks doing that on the indies.
No, they had to make it, they had to show that they were able to even, you know, be successful without being on a major promotion before people, I think, really could appreciate what they were doing. I mean, anybody can run a show, anybody can go to a show, but they did something extraordinary. They sold out a show with their own names, you know, self-promoted, self-endorsed. That's a big statement for the independent scene all across the nation.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what they did and what they continue to do, like what has been built from what the Young Bucks started on the indies. Like, I mean, every indie tag team, I assume most indie tag teams have watched the Young Bucks and have, like, picked things they could take away from the Young Bucks, like why the Young Bucks became what they are, and kind of, like, apply it to themselves. Like, obviously not everyone could do the crazy athletic flipping stuff that they are able to pull off. There's very few that can do that, but, like, there's always something you could take.
No, and, you know, we've had these kind of, like, you know, superstar teams in almost every generation. I mean, I think the Rockers was one of them, if you look at it overall. You definitely had the Hardy Boys, too, that kind of jump-started that again.
The Dudleys, too.
The Dudleys did a tremendous job with the tag division. But, yes, the Young Bucks have certainly dominated in this generation. And I think for the years to come, they will be that kind of standard in what super highly successful is. I wouldn't say successful because, you know, if you can get, 100 people to come and chant your name, that's success. But, you know, what they're able to do. And now, speaking of that, let me just go back a little bit with it. So, you were saying earlier, you know, you, Bobby, Max, you guys started a little crew, the Shook crew. Was this strictly for wrestling, or was it more into music, or, like, what got you into the wrestling world?
Well, so we were all wrestlers. We all trained at Creative Pro, the best school in the world.
Yep.
We all trained there, and we were just kind of doing shows here. Like, me and Max took me to Dojo Wars, like we mentioned earlier. So, like, I would go with Max a lot of places where he would wrestle, and I would be with him. And then Bobby joined a little after us, or long after Max, like a year after me. And we just kind of, like, we were just in the car together, like, doing some YouTube shows and stuff. And me and Max had always talked about doing, like, a rap song.
Yep.
Because he had always rapped, and I rapped in high school a little bit. And so we'd always talked about doing, like, a cap cipher, like, something just for fun. And we ended up doing a diss track for a YouTube show on Grimm. I'm sure people were better or know Grimm. I enjoy Grimm.
Yeah.
We did a diss track on Grimm, and it just kind of, like, got attention.
Yeah.
From obviously his psychotic, very devoted fan base, but also from, like, the people at our school, like some other people around the indies. Like, it wasn't something like people had done really, like a full on diss track. And it's a ridiculous song. Like, it's so silly looking back on it, but, like, it was just like something that people weren't able to do, and then we kind of just we were like, oh well, let's just do that. Like, whenever we can.
So you guys just kind of ran with it, and it kind of worked. I mean, I've seen all sorts of diss tracks. Even Max still to this day, when he comes out of AEW's got some sort of diss to say, and it works very tremendous. You don't see that often anywhere right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy seeing how far it came with Max, where it was just us doing, like, a silly diss track in the fucking Cap Garage, and now he just did one on John Moxley for, like, Dynamite.
He's coming out like John Cena rapping.
Yeah.
Dr. Thugonomics.
It's crazy seeing, like, how it developed from just something we were joking about to now how he's taking it, like, global. It's really cool.
Yeah, it really, I mean, I'm sure it really is cool to see the whole progression. As a fan, it's kind of cool, too, if you've watched, obviously, if you follow the indie scene, you start to follow people you like, and you can watch the social media stuff, but, you see people come a long way from either, just wherever they are in the indie scene to, wherever they are now, obviously Dojo Wars may have been your starting point, but obviously I think you're in a better place now in the shows you produce and what you work with, the talent you work against.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, especially now that shows are back. Like last week we did, or last week or 2 weeks ago, we did Beyond and Blitzkrieg back-to-back, both shows with crowds, which...
Oh, did you end up going to Blitzkrieg after? We were at the Beyond. We didn't get Blitzkrieg in.
Yeah, we did back-to-back, but they were both limited capacity but sold out shows with crowds, which is just so cool to have back. Like, wrestling is all about, the crowd.
Yeah.
So, finally having that back and, back-to-back days is just awesome. And then,
speaking of crowds, as the world gets better and the sports and wrestling industry gets fans again, I know you're from New York. I'm a Boston guy, sports fan. My long-term goal is, just because it's not the Attitude Era or the Hulk Hogan era, I want people that love sports to be able to look into indie wrestling. They don't have to watch WWE or AEW. Is to give you guys way more exposure than what you get. And it's really good now, don't get me wrong, but I just hope more people give the exposure up a notch, because you guys all deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, it's bigger now than it's ever been. I think it's just because of the way that it can be consumed. Like, it used to be, indies used to be, you had to go to the show, and that's how you saw the indie show. You had to go, and then maybe there'd be a DVD or something, but that was pretty much it. And now it's there's IWTV, there's YouTube, there's
Twitch.
I mean,
I hate to say it, but in a lot of ways, I think, why it did cut a lot of the business down, the pandemic, in some ways, the companies that were able to, keep doing shows or keep doing tapings. I know Beyond did shows, NCW Limitless, few others were able to continue tape shows. I think they were actually really able to push their product with the weekly show that they weren't able to do prior to this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's just think of how that's something that was not possible 10 years ago or 15 years ago in the indies. If the pandemic happened then, indie wrestling would have
been gone.
It would have been shut down. It would have been. There's no way to consume it. People could have tried to make DVDs, but there's really nothing.
Yeah, there was
now,
no way.
Obviously, it was rough, but we were still able to send out full shows, full tape shows to audiences, and audiences could watch it from their home. That just wasn't possible years ago. So it's really cool to see. It's a testament to how far indie wrestling's come on that side of things.
It has. I mean, I think it is big. Well, you do got, the IWTV. It's a huge network now, much bigger than it's ever been. You're getting all sorts of different promotions added in daily. And, it's a great way for fans to kind of sit in, watch if they can't go to a show live, but also still be part of it, because it's happening live. It's being shown live.
Yeah.
And I think this does, bring the fan base together. It's funny because the indie scene fans are a lot different than the wrestling as a whole fans. And, wrestling as a whole fans are very bickering, fighting, and just nobody ever agrees. The independent fans is like a big family. They all just go there. You can even not like the other, you guys can have, opposites on who you want to win. And the only thing that's going to happen is you guys are going to chant the opposite name. I've seen full-on fistfights at, WWE shows over somebody screaming the wrong name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, who are they screaming for?
This was a couple of years ago. Somebody started going on about Roman Reigns, and, the dude just got up and knocked the other kid down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right at Boston Garden. It was insanity.
TD Garden.
I've never seen anything like that. And,
but when I went to Red Sox Yankee games during the days, they would all happen more often than wrestling, but that's not the point I'm trying to make.
No, and like I said, even on Twitter, everybody's fighting, but if you notice how knit close the independent fans are, they support each other. And I think that's also helped, bring independent wrestling to life, because every fan is so dedicated about what they watch that they just promote it. I know here at the VSW, our main purpose has always been to promote the independent scene of New England. and eventually move outward down south and out to other territories to get names out there. I mean, that's the only difference between, what you people all do in a show and what's on TV is just who saw you, who picked you up. It's not always about the better talent, because I've seen better talent, that IWTV championship match between Yuta Wheeler and
Lee Moriarty.
That could have been a WrestleMania pay-per-view, no doubt, if the right people had it booked.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, right? Like, those two guys especially. And I think those guys are, like, on, like, that high level.
Oh, they are.
Like, yeah, I mean, either of them could be on TV tomorrow, and they'd kill it, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy the type of, like, you can have something like that on an indie show that you can watch, or you can go see, like...
You can see really live. Cool. You can even see live without, spending your savings account. You can actually even maybe meet the people for under $300.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they probably met everybody.
Actually, yeah, I think I did. I met everybody. I even met Edith Surreal before she bounced. But yeah.
Before she bounced?
Yeah, she left for some reason. Yeah, I don't know where she went. She went somewhere, and then she came back. I think that was the night she might have got injured. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard she got hurt. That sucks.
Yeah, I hate when injuries happen because it's just, there's nothing nobody can do about it. It's nobody's fault, but it just means you're not working. And it also means you're not at the gym.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't heard, like, the specifics on it.
No, me neither. And I've heard only good things, coming back. I've heard a few just, shouldn't be long from what I've heard out of Beyond.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something super serious. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I have a question. I know you're from Creative Pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I have questions. Some people give different answers if they do say it. They don't like to admit, which is okay, too. Is MJF the same in real life as he is on TV or when he meets fans?
In that, does he really hate the fans and think, like, they all are horrible and doesn't want to be around them?
And other wrestlers, too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. Like, he really, like, I'm not kidding, like, he really, and I've heard him talk about it, and I've heard him, and, like, people will be like, oh, like, he just put on an act, and then when he comes to the back or something, he'll be like, oh, I was just having fun out there. No, he hates the fans more than anything in the world. He'll yell at the fans, he'll come to the back, and he'll say how much he fucking hated the fans and hates everybody. I mean, it's a hard life.
That's awesome, though, in a kind of way. Either he's super passionate about it or he really is keeping K-Fob alive. Either way, that's...
he really hates
So he's really like Brock. He's like Brock Lesnar.
I can't stress enough how much he absolutely hates fans more than anything in the entire world.
Wow.
Oof. Yeah.
But you know what? They sure love him. That's what the great part is about it. No matter how much people are insulted, they'll just throw more money at him.
Yeah, they're in a tortured relationship.
All the masochists are out there, paying $500 to get abused. It's great. It's great for him.
And he always makes sure he charges more than like a Sting or like a...
Oh, he's up there with Flair.
And the meet and greet. That's hilarious.
He should. He deserves it.
But let's get back onto you and the Shook crew and what's going on. So what do you guys got planned? Things are opening up. What do you guys got looking forward to here?
Things are opening up. We have Beyond coming up. Obviously, Beyond has another show, so we'll all be there. We got Blitzkrieg coming up in June. We'll be there also. Max obviously is on AEW every week.
Yeah.
And then let me think what else now. There's some, hopefully Creative Pro is hopefully having a show soon. We got other Long Island based companies coming out. So yeah, we're just happy to be back on like where we can actually go, oh, here's the companies we worked for. They're back. We can wrestle for them again.
Nice.
Shows in front of people.
It's awesome.
And maybe as things get on, maybe you get on to like Darker Elevation too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. We just had Aaron Rourke. I don't know if you guys know, also Creative Pro.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just wrestled on Dark, which was really cool to see. So yeah, we'll see at some point, but that's all like when it happens for me. Yeah, I'm just happy to be wrestling again.
You're just happy to be back into it and just happy to be, in front of the live fans. And that's great to hear, that you have that passion for. You do not hate the fans. That is correct.
Wait, I don't hate the fans?
Yeah, you like them, right?
You know,
sometimes.
there's something.
Eh.
Depends which fan.
The ones that know it's a goat.
The ones that know it's a goat, yes, love them. They're great.
Okay, so at least it's maybe 20 or 30%. So that's good. I can live with that. You know, I can live with that.
Yeah, you would think it's 20-30%, but you'd be very surprised.
Really, that's.
I can tell it's a goat.
Well, that's good. As long as you
You
can
know,
say,
everyone
well,
should be able to tell it's a goat because it's clearly a goat. Like what? Like a sheep? Like have people seen a sheep?
I don't think they have. I mean, sheep are good for like making a wool blanket, but they're big, they're fat, they're puffy. You know, the goat is strong. It's got horns. It's like
I don't know how you can.
It's like a bull.
These two things, like they're not at all similar. They both have white fur.
It's like calling a fish a shark. It's not really the same.
Yes, they both have one similarity, and that's it. Fans are like, oh, it's clearly a sheep. Like, no, you're dumb, and I hate you.
Yeah, I can see why you have to hate those fans if they're that dumb. I mean, sometimes you can't love everybody. As much as people try, you just can't.
Yeah, I don't love anybody.
And, you know, that's just how it has to be. But so we'll be looking forward to you. We'll be seeing you on June 3rd.
At Project Dolphin.
So
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to be back and beyond. Hopefully they have all figured out. They've pulled out a textbook or they've Googled what animals look like. Maybe they can get one of those little things where you pull the lever and it spins around and tells you what sound an animal makes.
Oh yeah, maybe they could maybe just do checks, you know, at the ticket, you know, if you don't know the animal, maybe just not even be able to come into the show.
I know you and Bobby would be thrilled.
Yeah, we'll take that with their mask and their proof of test and all that. Like,
yeah, just take all their documentation and just ask them the simple questions. What is this? If they answer it right, cool, you're in. If not, you're out. And then at least you'll have a crowd of people that knows what's up.
Yeah, you know what? I'll ask Drew. I'll say that to him. I'll bring it up to him. I'll put a statement. We'll see if he goes for it. I'm sure he'll love kicking out people from his show.
Oh, Denver, Colorado.
I'm just dying to see where now that, as I was saying before you called, our governor announced earlier this week that May 29th, Saturday before Memorial Day, everywhere is permitted for full capacity. Indie shows, the Garden, Fenway, everything. I hope we find out the Americarana location soon.
Yeah, that's crazy that everything's open. Like,
yeah, like ASAP.
I mean, it'd be cool. Americarana would be cool. Like, hopefully, I mean, I don't have any inside knowledge, but I know that, like, Beyond wants to do everything they can on the Indies.
Oh, they are, you know, they are one of the best, if not right now, the best on the indie scene. They've done everything from the Florida shows. They had the great, you know, tape shows going on during the pandemic. They did other shows in Jersey. And plus, everything they've done with Uncharted Territory and all their other shows.
They're going to push everything. They're going to try, exhaust every option to achieve what they want to achieve. So I'm sure if Americarana has a chance of happening, they'll make it happen.
Oh, and Drew we trust for that, definitely. He is a man to make things happen.
Plus, you guys have a brand new, spanking new ballpark right next door to where the White Eagle is. Would be amazing someday.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Polo Park.
Yeah, maybe that's an option. Who knows?
Maybe. But like I said, originally I was hearing everything maybe like July, August. But no, I was very happy to hear everything in like 2 weeks is being lifted, full capacity. I don't know how this will affect, shows that have been already sold. I don't know if they're allowed to go back and up the capacity. I do hope so.
I think he made a tweet that he's going to try to do that.
If he can, that would be great. Just, there's nothing. I mean, it's great having fans, but there's nothing like a full packed White Eagle. There's just nothing.
Yeah, definitely. You always want the largest crowd possible for any show. So.
And, you guys always bring it out there. But with that, I'm going to say thank you for calling. It's been a pleasure, Bryce. And we're going to see you out there. We'll keep, tweeting out
and tell the goat we say hello.
We'll keep tweeting out where our fans can watch you. And, we'll see you at Beyond.
All right, yeah. I'll see you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a great conversation. Bryce Donovan, one half of the Shook Crew. Tremendous wrestler. That was just a lot of fun. We talked Beyond. That's one of the major promotions out in our area here.
You got Limitless and NCW been on a roll with this.
Oh, they have been killing it as well. Don't get me wrong. The only reason I mentioned Beyond is because they're the first ones to allow the fans back. And honestly, Drew, it does run a good show. We've seen a lot of the great talent being able to work
especially
there.
If a really awesome women's show the other day on
that show was amazing. We have our recap of that up, and you can listen to that on our channel. We also have...
We will preview AEW Double or Nothing, where tonight every match is going to be announced, so we can get working on it as soon as this weekend.
We will have that coming. We have an NCW preview show coming Friday, well, maybe Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on where you live. Friday night, watch it. Over the weekend, watch it. We will be recapping that Monday. That's NCW Shoots and Ladders. We will also be recapping Monday, New England All-Stars, with the main event of Ted Goods versus Flying Brian Jr.,
who is teaming up with Griff Garrison to take on the Young Bucks as we speak for the AEW World Tag Team. He could have gold around his waist coming to New England.
What an amazing opportunity this is for us. We got to see him at Beyond's Please Come Back, and he was fantastic, and I'm just looking forward to watching him wrestle again live. And, you got the veteran legend, Ted Goods, always a show, gave us a great match with the Dirty Daddy at the last Beyond show. And this will be great. We also got another surprise for you folks. Sunday night, another interview. We're taking on the Prize City OG, Alec Price. That's right, he'll be calling in live. We'll ask him questions. We'll be taking questions from you guys, whatever we want to do. It's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it, folks. So stay up to date. Hit the sub button, hit the chime button so you know when we do our shows.
And give even Max Caster with the... Even though he got called to AEW, look up Bryce Donovan, Bobby Orlando, and the GOAT. It ain't a sheep. Please
look them all up. Give them all a follow on
Watch
Twitter.
Some
watch
of their
YouTube
matches.
videos. Watch their matches. Watch their music videos. Also, just, Twitter at Shook Crew. You could find them, the Shook Crew. And then, like I said, and for all our information, at Disablewolf, at Versace Stoner 9, at the VSW Podcast. You can find us all there, all the newest and latest entertainment. And we got one more announcement. I know there's a lot, but there's just so much wrestling this week. My God. Saturday, finally, 4 o'clock p.m. Things are going to get experimental.
Well,
the Lab.
Lab, baby.
That's right. Season 1 debuting with their first show, and it is a bunch we will be previewing
on
and
IWTV.
reviewing that as well on the VSW, and you can capture that and watch that, like Disablewolf said, on IWTV. So with all that wrestling and action go on, you're just going to want to stay in front and listen to everything we have to say. But with that, I'm going to give you a great night. Go watch AEW and check out The Road if you didn't already. Versace Stoner out.
Disablewolf out.